Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Oh, boy. I think I did too much. Dr. Shealy, I think I overdid it.
I'm gonna go ahead and zombie out. I'll take over.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I did. Wow. You know, I was looking at, I have 4 bottles of Bliss here in the studio, and one of them is marked Ring of Life. Now, that's not one you talk about, Dr. Shealy.
Yeah.
Was that a beta test?
I'm sorry?
Is that a beta test? You know, there's, all the other rings, but air, water, fire. But Ring of Life, is that a combination?
Well, yes, it is. And the problem is that it's so tedious to do the work. And it cost me about $50,000 in basic lab tests, and I just haven't had the reason to spend that much money and take the time to do it. Someday I will, but I have.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
So this vial of Ring of Life that I have here in the studio, this is one of very few, yes?
That's right. Yeah, I did make up a few bottles of it, and I just haven't tested on all of the biochemical things I need to do to say that it does just as good a job as doing the rings.
Okay. Well,
I get requests for it every week, and I keep saying, well, one of these days I'm going to.
Okay, well, my question was, okay, what is the difference? So, everyone all set, cocked, locked, here we go. Dr. Shealy and I are broadcasting 2 hours today. And if you'd like to call in, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. We'll pay for the call. Lance is engineering the broadcast. And there's a link to all of your instructors on the website. I've got the Comrec stack up and running. So if you decide to call in, we'll be glad to take your call. Dr. Shealy, I was looking at a website, and it's posted, let's see, here it is. It was posted on our website and talks about what's in food, things that, we probably don't know about. So, for example, if you eat figs, it says that, well, the protein of dead wasps may be in them because wasps seem to hang around figs, and they just climb in, and sometimes they die, and well, there you go. In your figs are dead wasps, possibly. Then it says, let's see, marshmallows. To keep their shape, they use gelatin, which is made from boiled animal bones. So far, not so bad. I mean, I don't like eating the dead bugs, but then we get into things like red dye. Red dye, foods which are colored with red dye will more often than not contain caramine, which is made from crushed up beetles. Not too excited about that one. And goes on to talk about Kellogg's frosted wheat. And it says they're made up from beef gelatin from cow bones, which is used to make the sugar stick to the cereal. That might not be too bad. Then you get down to some others. For example, rennet. Parmesan cheese is made with animal rennet, and some beers and stouts such as Guinness have particles of fish bladder known as isinglass in them. Yep. And the last one is non-organic bananas are sometimes sprayed with pesticide made from shellfish. So and Worcestershire sauce. Why do they have to put anchovies in Worcestershire sauce? And why do they have to put the stomach lining of calves in basil pesto? You know?
Well, Vince, what you're really outlining is the food mafia. The food mafia is like the tobacco mafia, is like the pharmaca mafia, etc., like the government. They lie. I wouldn't trust them even to tell me the time of day. And I have said for many, many, many years, if the label has more than one food, real food that came from a farm, and maybe some salt, then it's probably junk. The minute they start adding this, that, and the others, it is no longer real food.
Yeah, and I haven't used Worcestershire sauce in years because I just, I remember seeing when I was a child a tin of anchovies. And I used to have this key, and you'd take the key off the back of the can of anchovies, and you just wind off the lid, and you look in there, and there's dead fish. And
but go back to marshmallows.
Yeah.
Marshmallow, the gelatin's minor. It's the sugar that's the poison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, gelatin makes sense to me. It really does. But people don't know that that's what's in marshmallows. They don't know that.
Right.
And why have we allowed our politicians to prevent us from knowing what's in our food?
Why have we allowed our politicians to live or exist and be reelected ad nauseum? To me, no politician should ever be allowed to stay in a public national office more than 4 years, and then they should be kicked out and never allowed in another major national office in their whole lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, the governor can only be elected for one term. That's it. In, do your thing, get out. And that's kind of nice. But, they still can do a lot of damage in 4 years. They really can. Okay. Well, I was thinking about some common diseases that I've seen. I don't have psoriasis, but I have seen psoriasis many, many years ago. When I lived on the coast and I was a child, I've seen people wear shorts, and you can see on their legs just above their ankles, these red blotchy spots, and they actually look painful. And I've seen them on elbows. And so here's my concern. Well, let's talk about what is psoriasis, and then is it something that like let's say someone sits down at a restaurant table and they're done with their meal, and now it's our turn. So the waitress says, "Okay, here's your seat." And there was the guy just before us with his elbows on the table, and he has psoriasis. Is that something that we should be concerned about? Is that something that we can get from him?
No. As far as I know, it's not contagious. It is an autoimmune disease, in this case, destroying the skin itself. It's sort of like a distant relative of rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. And all autoimmune diseases, 100% of autoimmune diseases, are the result of the body whole immune system being totally whacked out and attacking itself. Now, at the very top of the list is no wheat, no gluten, no Roundup. and they need large doses of vitamin D3. In general, if a person with these diseases just gets on D3, a minimum of 5,000 units a day or 50,000 units once a week, that often will take care of the disease. However, they are deficient also in omega-3 fatty acids. They often need astaxanthin, my favorite antioxidant other than vitamin C, which they also need. Interestingly, however, a new book just came out in the last week by David Perlmutter, one of the very few neurologists in the world who's got his head screwed on right. And it's on the lack of normal bacteria, normal probiotic bacteria in the gut that actually is a contributing factor in every disease, from diabetes to death. And there are so many things that upset the intestinal flora. I think you may or may not have heard that 90% of all the cells in your body are bacteria in your intestines. They're much smaller than your body cells, so they can, outnumber us 10 to 1. And if you did not have a vaginal delivery, you did not get your original, dose of probiotics. If you've had antibiotics, they often destroy the normal bacteria in the intestines. If you eat sugar, especially, fructose or table sugar, that can destroy or transform the intestinal flora, etc., and on and on and on it goes. So all of these autoimmune diseases, and in fact, almost all diseases, whether they're autoimmune or other immune or other whatever, are often the result that the intestinal flora that help us stabilize our metabolism at all levels have been badly damaged by something in the environment, etc.
There's your information about psoriasis, class. So omega-3, astaxanthin, vitamin C, probiotics. Take out the sugar, take out the gluten, take out the Roundup, take out the wheat, add vitamin D3, 5,000 units a day. We'll be right back. Dr. Norm Shealy. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realists, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well. Free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Dr. Shealy, one of the things that we've mentioned over the years at the meetups on Monday is about beaver butt. And, you know, beaver butt is used as a natural flavoring in food. And we don't know that we're eating this. And what is it used for? Well, it's a natural flavoring. And yeah, I did say beaver butt. Okay, the rear ends of beavers. And it's used as a flavoring. Vanilla, strawberry, and raspberry flavored products are the most common that are flavored with this natural flavoring called, I believe the pronunciation is castoreum. Is that correct?
Well, you just taught me something. It is castoreum, castoreum.
Right.
But I didn't know it. But
yeah.
Here on the internet it says beaver tush flavored your strawberry shortcake. Oh my!
So, one of our young regulars, and I won't use his name because he's a teenager, and he comes to the meetups and he helps me with the sound system. He's just a wonderful young man. As a matter of fact, I keep offering to adopt him and take him home. He's just a great young man. And he said, hey, Vincent, you know about beaver butt? And I said, tell us all about it. So he said, yeah, beaver butt. It's used as a natural flavoring. So what we're learning, Dr. Shealy, is that there are ingredients in food, you know, this extruded food that we eat, that we think, you know, I guess it looks really good when it comes out of the package, like, you know, maybe strawberry ice cream or cherry flavored something or other, and there it might be this beaver butt. There's a post we have on the website. It's about McDonald's, and one of the early potential sponsors that we threw overboard one day, you and I, years and years ago, in Springfield, Missouri, when we were on the air together, was McDonald's. And we went right down the list about, you know, sponsors that we would not want to have associated with us. And there's now a college study of food-like additives, food-like additives and meat-like substances in food. Yeah, well, I'm using the word food lightly. And this study says that the stomach bacteria is devastated by this study, and they had a college student eat Big Macs, French fries, chicken McNuggets, and Coca-Cola. And after about 10 days, this student's gut bacteria was destroyed. And, I have, over the years, I was really, really hungry. That was before I met you, seriously, literally. And, if I was really, really hungry and I was under a time constraint, I'd just pull into the Golden Arches and grab just a burger and go. And, I'd feel sick after it. Literally, my stomach didn't feel right. I could feel an irregular heartbeat. It was just, what in the heck is going on? And those were days where, if you're really hungry, you'd overeat. Well, I don't do that anymore, and I haven't for years and years and years. I have not been to a McDonald's except one time, and I'll admit on the air and to you, I was really thirsty, and I bought a cup of coffee. Other than that, that's all that I have gone into McDonald's for. So what you said years ago when I said, Dr. Shealy, what do you think about, McDonald's? And the words, tell me if I'm wrong, did you not say poison?
Yes, I did. By the way, these glands from the perianal area of the beaver are sold for $10 to $40 each. And if you see on the food, quote, natural flavoring, it's likely the beaver's anal glands.
Yeah. And so what
it gives a new thought to repulsive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And so the question is, what do we do about this? When we learn of things like this, I think the answer is to tell everybody and boycott those companies. And maybe they will say, new and improved, no longer contains beaver butt.
It sounds better than...
By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
Class, I'm delighted to be broadcasting with Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor, surgeon of the year, author, broadcaster, farmer, and Native American medicine man. And Dr. Shealy, I was talking with a man who's going to become one of our newest instructors on the 26th of this month. And he's going to teach us how to make wine and make beer. And there are two reasons why we want to do this. One is we want to stop paying additional taxes to the other team on our wine and beer consumption. So, why pay extra taxes to those thugs? And that's one. And the other is that we can make wine and beer without some of the ingredients that are traditionally put in wine and beer. For example, during the next commercial break, I'm going to post a story about some of the common beers. For example, Newcastle Brown Ale contains caramel coloring. Corona Extra GMO corn and GMO corn syrup. One of the light beers contains GMO corn and GMO corn syrup. And let's see. Guinness contains high fructose corn syrup and fish bladder. And Bud contains GMO rice. Or at least that's the question. Does it contain GMO rice? So some beers contain monosodium glutamate, polypropylene glycol. That's an ingredient found in antifreeze, according to this post. EDTA, calcium disodium. It's made from formaldehyde, sodium cyanide, and another ingredient. And then there are other preservatives and types of sulfites and microbial preservatives that are linked to allergies and asthma. And then, of course, natural flavors. We talked about that, and that can be anything, including, anything natural, including a beaver's butt. And dye, food color, red FD and C red 40. It's made from petroleum. It's linked to allergies, asthma, and hyperactivity. And then FD and C yellow 5. It's made from petroleum. It's linked to those same things. And they're insect-based dyes. Caramine, derived from insects to color their beer. So now, and that's just the top of the list. So now and there's another ingredient, carrageenan, which is linked to inflammation of the bowels. And BPA, which is bisphenol A, which is a component in can liners, and it may leach into the beer, and it can mimic female hormone estrogen and may affect sperm count and other organ functions. So that's just beer. So if we can make that ourselves, we don't need to buy all those ingredients to add it to our beer. So that's kind of neat. So we're going to be talking about that. And so my question to you, Dr. Shealy, is if we make our own beer, let's just start with beer. Is that something that is beneficial because of the fermentation process?
I don't think that fermented beer or wine is nearly as healthy as kraut, for instance,
Okay.
or kombucha tea, which is a lot easier and simpler and less expensive to make. Although a modest amount of alcohol is not, known to be harmful, modest being, one beer, 12 ounces a day, 4 to 6 ounces of wine, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it actually adds to the life, health, etc., of a person who otherwise has good health habits. The great benefit and the only benefit that I know of really using an alcoholic beverage is for relaxation. For some people, it's the only time they ever relax. And I prefer not to do it with a chemical like alcohol. Now, I'm not against drinking, and please don't misunderstand me. I think in moderation it's okay. But interestingly, since age 21, I used to drink, and especially after I got married at age 26, wine, say 2 or 3 times a week. It's just a social thing, pleasant in the evening. But when my wife died 4 years ago, I stopped drinking wine because I won't drink alone. I think there's a danger in taking that kind of thing when you live alone, of, drinking more and more and more because you don't have anybody else to talk with. And so I quit drinking. And then last fall, when I had a visitor, I decided to have a small glass of wine with him on 2 nights in a row, and I felt awful, unbelievably hungover the next day. So I've stopped drinking again totally, even when people visit. So you can accustom yourself to it, but I really don't see a healthy benefit if you have otherwise good healthy habits. Long answer, sorry.
No, that's a great answer. So, Dr. Shealy, are you saying that you had 1 glass of wine 2 days in a row, and you felt hungover because you had not been consuming wine prior to that?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
so your tolerance for it was lowered.
My tolerance was taken back to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm talking about a small glass, it certainly wasn't more than 4 ounces.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the Italians seem to think, and when I'm saying the Italians, I'm talking about some of my uncles and grandparents seem to think that a glass of wine, not every day, but, once in a while, and it would be red wine only, a hearty red wine, and a small amount, just a couple ounces, was a good thing, maybe on, with a Sunday meal after the meal. They thought that there were some health benefits to that.
Well, statistically speaking, it's not quite the same as coffee, but it's somewhat similar. There have been for many, many years a discussion off and on saying that 1 or 2 glasses at the most of wine a day had some benefit. But as far as I can tell, the benefit is purely those people who don't otherwise slow down, I think 10 minutes of deep relaxation would do far more health benefit than a glass of wine.
Yeah, but the problem with that the deep relaxation, Dr. Shealy, is you can't drink it and have it work. And what I'm saying is we've gotten to the point where there's a pill for that. I'm really stressed out, and I can drink this stuff, and it'll tend to fix it. Whereas, if we want to relax it, it might take 10 minutes, to wind. So we want it fast. Not only do we want it fast, we want it free. And not only that, we want somebody else to pay for it. Not only that, we've become allergic to work.
But it's work to make it, too. I think you're allowed to make something like 250 gallons without the government interfering.
Yeah. 200 gallons per family.
Yeah.
And so, Dr. Shealy, I am on this new bent, where I want to reduce the amount we feed these guys. And one of the ways of doing that is to reduce the amount we pay them in taxes, because it seems to me that they've got our hand in just about everything we do. I'm talking about the skimmers, the people who work for the government who are living off our efforts. And they're interested in alcohol, they're interested in tobacco, over taxation of alcohol and tobacco. It's just so the answer for me is to pay them less. And I'd like to spread that word. So we want to do more things for ourselves. So I'm thinking for those who are interested in drinking beer, we're going to teach you how to make your own. So it's safer for you. You'll know what's in it because you put it there. And it's a nice hobby, and you can avoid paying taxes. And by the way, at the end of this month, on the 30th, I'll be teaching a seminar in Mountain Home, Arkansas at the Patriots, Preppers and Patriots Expo. I'll put a link on the website, and I'm going to be teaching you how you can start your own business. Dr. Shealy, there are a lot of people who have called me here at the farm and want to learn how to start their own business and take the same tax deductions that the rich take. And what I'm telling people is, okay, so let's say you drink beer, and you'd like to offset some of your costs. Well, if you start a business, and that business is a web site, let's say you have a blog, and you say, you know what, I'm going to teach you on the internet how you can make beer, and let's learn along with me. So here's what I bought. I bought these items, and then you take some pictures and you put it on the website, and now you're looking for advertisers. So now you're in business. So you're drinking your beer and you're trying the beer, and now it's all a tax deduction. So instead of it being an expense against your after-tax income, it's a tax deduction. So you can use your imagination, and I'd like to expand our minds so that we can do things and start our own businesses. And do you need a license to start your own business? No. You can start your own business in your own mind, and say, I'm going to start a business. And you don't have to fill out any paperwork. You've just started your business because you've decided to do so. Keep records and use those expenses as deductions. And you can do that. And if the feds or the state gives you a hard time, let me know, and we'll talk about them. Make sure you get their name and number, and we'll make everybody famous on the other team. So seriously. But, don't do anything illegal. You can't go into the heroin business and claim mileage deductions. So anyway, that's coming up. Oh, another break. Jeez.
An obscene profit.
This is the American way. A break 4 times an hour. Dr. Shealy and I'll be right back after this break. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to. if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Class, if you'd like to hear more of Dr. Norm Shealy, MD, PhD, you may. Hay House Radio Hay House, HAYHOUSE radio.com, right after, at noon Central Time, starting at noon Central Time on Wednesday. So 1 hour after this broadcast ends, Dr. Norman Shealy starts his Hay House radio broadcast. So you can call in and ask questions. Dr. Shealy, I just posted the email from you about cytomegalic, am I saying that right? Virus?
Yeah. Cytomegalic.
Okay. Can you share with us what that's all about?
Well, there are a number of viruses called cytomegalic. They're big, larger than life type viruses, and they are a major contribution to every known disease. You know, everything affects everything. I've talked about this so many times, so it's very difficult sometimes to say, well, it's this or that or the other that is the cause, but they all work together. And, of course, the best known virus is herpes, the whole herpes family. And interestingly, for instance, herpes simplex, fever blisters, apparently all of us get that early in life, mostly passed on by the mother, and it lives in your body for the rest of your life. But for some people, it comes out frequently. You know, under major or minor stress, they'll get a fever blister. Now, personally, I know I must have the virus because I remember one episode as a teenager, and then about 18 or more years ago, I had a spider bite on my left upper cheek, outside the eye there, and I woke up with my eye swollen and a fever blister. Those are the only two times in my life I've ever had them. But in general, at least 90% or better of all people have antibodies, at least to these viruses. And of course, as always, the number one way to keep your immune system healthy and help prevent these cytomegalic viruses from expressing themselves is vitamin D3. A minimum of 5,000 units a day or 50,000 once a week. Vitamin K2, always under stress, up to 15 or more milligrams a day. Astaxanthine, 10 milligrams, and vitamin C, 2,000. B complex, a minimum 25 milligrams, and tocotrienol, that is Kyani Sunset, 3 a day. And, of course, you've got to have good health habits. If you don't eat 5 servings or more a day of fruits and vegetables, if you're fat, if you smoke, if you drink a lot of alcohol, all those things weaken your immune system. And, indeed, you know, although Hans Selye is known as, quote, the father of stress, as early as about 1900, Sir William Osler, who's truly the father of American medicine, talked about the stress and strain of daily life as the cause of illness. And it is not keeping your body at peace and your mind at peace with yourself and the world that allows things like these, not so healthy viruses to manifest themselves in your body.
I saw a friend of mine, I hadn't seen him in years, and he's under a tremendous amount of stress at his job. Absolutely overwhelming stress, and I can see the toll that it is physically taken on his body. But I found something very interesting. I'm reading this post, and I posted it on our website from your email and in your newsletter. In class, you can get the same one that I get multiple times a week. Just go to normshealy.com, normshealy.com. But the point is, the highlights are vitamin D3, astaxanthine, vitamin C, vitamin B complex, vitamin E. You know, we should be taking that anyway, right, Dr. Shealy? All of us.
Yes, absolutely.
There you go. We'll be back in, just another break. This is number 4. Top of the hour news, commercial announcements. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
The human body is extraordinary, despite all the stress we inflict upon it. Thousands of people across the country use an extremely effective product to help their body stay balanced. It's Heart and Body Extract, an all-natural herbal formula designed to help maintain healthy blood pressure, clean arteries, promote good circulation, and balance cholesterol. Heart and Body Extract, along with good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free from pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of Heart and Body Extract. Learn more and read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers at heartandbody.com. Heart and Body Extracts offers a lifetime guarantee with no price increase in over 14 years. For free info, call 866-295-5305 now. That's 866-295-5305 or heartandbody.com. Distributor inquiries welcome. 866-295-5305.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Norman Shealy. Dr. Shealy, I got up this morning and Mrs. Finelli always has a bright smile on her face and she's, what a great day. And, she's always cheerful and it's really kind of nice. Actually, it's really delightful. To be around people who are happy. And so next thing I do is I go down from the bedroom into the kitchen and there's Thomas Jefferson, his tail's wagging. He's all excited to see me. And I go outside and I see the dogs and they're all excited, to see me. And when one of our children arrives at the farm, they recognize the vehicle, the sound of the vehicle, and they all get excited and they all want to see our children. And it's really nice when people are happy. And it reminds me of the opposite situation where we were in our dining room. And we had a whole bunch of people in there. It was a lot of people. And one guy walked in, grouchy. Walked in for the first time, just arrived. And he just wasn't, as happy. And, the rest of us are laughing, having a great time. And one guy walks in and puts a damper on the whole room. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is when people are happy, and we've talked about this, but I want to make sure everybody understands. When people are happy, what is your opinion toward their life expectancy and toward their productivity and their general well-being?
I'd say anywhere from 10 to 40 years. You know,
that's on the plus side, right?
On the plus side, oh yeah. The single greatest detriment to health is negativity, and you can't be seriously anxious or depressed and be healthy. Not possible.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about creativity? And,
well, again, the same thing. People who are depressed and anxious, most of the time, are not creative. Now, every once in a while, there's the exception, like, you know, an unusual artist or musician, and they get by because they focus all of their energy into that, but they're still unhappy. But in general, the single greatest problem is unhappiness.
Okay, to longevity.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, so what I was thinking is, back in during the World War II era, we've seen these videos where the German forces were demanding innovation from their people. It's like they were being, and this is what we were shown on television and the media, that they were demanding innovation. It's like, you will invent this thing. And I'm wondering how well that works compared to like the Apple computer model, where they encourage innovation by giving freedom and making life as pleasant as possible compared to being threatened. And in my life, I think if someone says to me, you will do such and such, it is going to be really hard for me to do whatever it is, you know.
Well, that leads to anger, and if you don't somehow solve it, it leads to depression. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you can't force happiness. You can't force, you know, most things. It just doesn't work. It is repressive instead of helpful.
Mm-hmm. So, let's say in the medical field, Dr. Shealy, have you noticed that people who have, let's say, doctors and nurses who have great family lives, do they perform better on the job? Do their patients do better?
Oh yeah, no question about it. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Actually, over 45 years ago, I noticed that the wives of some of my physician colleagues had an increased risk of breast cancer. And it seemed to me that these men were what I call cold fish. And I mentioned it to my wife. I said, you know, no wonder so-and-so's wife has breast cancer. You know, he's about as dead in the face, personality, probably bad as anybody I know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So are you saying that a happy marriage is something that would help prevent breast cancer?
Absolutely.
Wow. You know, it's interesting. Mrs. Finelli has a smile on her face. She's very healthy. She is slim and trim, literally within a couple pounds of her high school weight. I mean, literally.
You know, Vince, to me, for the average person, certainly, having a proper, healthy, happy mate is the single most important thing in life. Nothing else can even come close to it. Trillions of dollars can't equal the health and happiness of a happy mate.
And you look at Hollywood, and you look at those people who are
I prefer not to.
Well, yeah. Well, let's look at them as a negative example.
I know. Yeah.
They paint happy faces on them, and yet they have multiple marriages. And obviously, you don't keep trading your partner for another one if things are going really well. So obviously their lives are in shambles with marriage after marriage after marriage after marriage, and then they get branded, tattooed, and they go into drug rehab, and it's unbelievable. And then they have illnesses to beat the band. So all of this anecdotal evidence really points to what you've been saying for as long as I've known you, that, healthy habits, you have to have the right partner in life, and that leads to a longer life. And you can just look at Hollywood and see how messed up it is. And then those are people we look up to. And that's amazing to me that people would go to see an actor. And the story that I think tells this best is I was at a high school graduation, and they had the state superintendent in the Commonwealth of Virginia give the address to the students. And he was talking about his son who had just graduated or was just in college, and he had this summer job at a theme park called Six Flags in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And back then there was this movie with Tom Cruise in it, and they had this race car, this mellow yellow race car. And Tom Cruise was the main character, and he was the race car driver. And so he had the superintendent's son was portraying the race car driver, Tom Cruise, in uniform with the helmet down, walking around the theme park. And this young girl said, "Oh, over there, Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise." And they ran over to him, and they said, "Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise." And this guy who was the superintendent's son said, "No, I'm not Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is an actor. I'm a race car driver." and the superintendent's son was just this guy making, minimum wage, walking around with this, Nomex suit and helmet on. The point is, we look up to people who are actors, and we think that they're really something special, and they're just acting the part. They're not the real deal. They're just acting.
Interestingly, our second son, many, many years ago, thought he wanted to be an actor. So when he was 15, our friend Lindsay Wagner insisted that he come out and spend a week, and he actually spent 10 days in Hollywood with Lindsay Wagner, and she showed him all of the downside of the Hollywood life scene, and that was the end of his interest in becoming an actor. He's now a psychologist.
Now, Lindsay Wagner, she portrayed the Bionic Woman, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. A real pretty girl. And so she taught him the downside. And so what, do you remember what some of those downsides were?
Well, she showed him the ex-wives of some of the best-known Hollywood actors, and how unhappy and sad they were, and, she didn't show him a single successful person in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yep. And that was kind of the point that I was attempting to make, that it's really, really tough when your life is messed up to be happy. I got an email, Dr. Shealy. I got an email from one of, let me just bring it up. Okay. Where did it go? Well, the email says WWSD, and you've heard the term WWJD for what would Jesus do? Well, this email came in WWSD, which stands for what would Shealy do? And I'm very serious. Now, one of our instructors, here it is. It says, and this is from one of our instructors, "I have an appointment tomorrow with a dermatologist. My mother is overly concerned about a spot on my face and made an appointment. I agreed to see the doctor for an evaluation, but I said I would determine any course of treatment. She then said the doctor would want to do a biopsy to test it for cancer. I believe it's I have heard that the act of scraping skin can actually cause or spread cancer cells. Do you have an opinion? WWSD. What would Shealy do? And that's from our instructor. Now, who will remain nameless at this point. So when we come back, Dr. Shealy, could you address the scraping of potentially cancerous cells on the face, either encouraging the growth of cancer, or is it a thing that we should consider doing? We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Friends, this is Alex Jones for MidasResources.com. For more than 15 years, I have exclusively used Midas Resources for all my precious metal needs. Whether it's bullion or collectibles you're looking for, Midas Resources is simply the best. I own my gold as a hedge against inflation. This Federal Reserve fiat currency could go the way of the Deutschmark and the Weimar Republic anytime. In these historically dangerous times, it makes sense to physically hold gold and silver. Midas already has some of the best deals in the industry. But if you give them a call and mention the radio special, they will give you a list of the day's super specials. Midas brokers are standing by to answer all your questions at 800-686-2237. They also have a lot of informative free literature explaining the opportunities and risk of holding precious metals. They are ready to answer your questions at 800-686-2237. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
So the question is, what would Norm do? What would Norm Shealy do? So our instructor has an appointment tomorrow with a dermatologist, and the dermatologist would do a scrape on this this area that he'd do a biopsy to test it for cancer. And would that actually cause the cancer to spread, or what should a person do, Dr. Shealy?
Well, now, this is what I would do. I'm not saying everybody should follow my advice. As long as it wasn't black, if it was a dark black spot, that could be melanoma. And I would not treat melanoma the same as I would the other two major skin cancers, basal cell or squamous cell. But that's where the skin has, one of these unhealthy looking somethings happening. That I personally would paint with 7% iodine available from your veterinary supply place only. And I would use the Q-tip, dip it in, and just touch it to that spot morning and night. And I think within 6 to 12 weeks it would disappear.
Okay, I called our farm supply cooperative in the hamlet where I live during last week's broadcast, and I asked them about 7% iodine, and they said they have something called triodine, Triodine. Okay, and triodine 7 for animal use, and I believe a pint of it was $11.50.
Exactly.
So it's very, very inexpensive. And that's something that I plan to get this week. Next time I leave the farm to go to the farm supply, I'm going to get that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it lasts like almost forever. Is that correct? As long as it doesn't evaporate? Mm-hmm.
I've got a bottle that's got to be over 10 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what else can we use that 7% iodine or triodine, Triodine-7 for?
Athlete's foot,
mm-hmm.
toenail fungus.
Mm-hmm.
Depending upon your judgment, it certainly could include the infections of various kinds.
Okay. How about skin tabs or skin tangs?
And that I don't know. Certainly, there are, the other thing that it can probably do is warts. Almost certainly would get rid of warts.
I had a wart on my thumb, maybe when I was 10 years old, and they had this wart cream that you put on it, and you just put on it every day with a Band-Aid, and it just disappeared. But what are warts?
Well, they are a viral infection. They're somewhat like those cytomegalic viruses that we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They are an odd virus, and most of the time, they just sit there, and they could sit there for 40 or 50 years and not cause other troubles.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. When I got mine, I wasn't the only one. I was in school, elementary school, and there were a whole bunch of us that had these warts. And you know what? I haven't seen anybody with one since. Seriously.
Yeah.
Have they gone away?
Well, they can.
No, I mean, almost from society, because I literally haven't seen anyone with a wart for probably 40 years.
Well, they still occur. They're not that common. The regular warts that occur almost anywhere on the body, often on the hands, can be removed, actually, without surgery. In addition to iodine, there actually are, believe it or not, one of 5-FU, one of the chemotherapeutic agents, can be touched onto a wart and make it go away.
I just saw something pretty disturbing. I just typed in warts, and what came up was genital warts.
Well, that's a different category. That is a, quote, venereal disease.
Okay.
And it's similar to syphilis and gonorrhea and other undesirables.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when we come back, if someone gets syphilis, I think Al Capone died of it, and he did in the prison. Can we talk about what do you do if you have syphilis? Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Okay. And then I'd like to talk about our son, who is an intern at a veterinarian's. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. All over America, people are suffering from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, irregular heartbeat, clogged arteries, and high cholesterol. Can you live your life free from sickness, pain, and fear, and experience your body healing itself? Look to Heart and Body Extract, an all-natural supplement that aids ailing bodies. It has an exclusive formula of wild-crafted and organic herbs. End the pain without all the side effects of prescription drugs. People 20 years younger will envy your vitality. Want a happier, healthier you? Then go to heartandbody.com or call toll-free 866-295-5305 for free information. Heart and Body Extract offers a lifetime guarantee with no price increase in over 14 years. What are you waiting for? Call Heart and Body now at 866-295-5305 for your free information. Go to heartandbody.com, 866-295-5305. Distributor inquiries welcome.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. Shield. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
So Alphonse Capone, also known as Al Capone, contracted syphilis when he was the bouncer in a brothel. And he went to prison, and he died in prison, and I believe of syphilis. Dr. Shealy, so what does a person do? Are there symptoms of syphilis that a person would notice?
Well, in men, it almost always it starts with an odd, quote, sore on the penis itself. It can be on the glands or the shaft of the penis. In women, it's likely to be on the labia, but it can not, it just isn't as visible. If you don't treat that within the time when that sore is present, because it will heal and go away, if you don't treat it with proper antibiotics, it will then live in your body. Again, it can be 5 or 20 or more years, but gradually it causes damage to your brain and your heart more than anything. And it's a slow and very painful death.
Mm-hmm. And is the cure very simple? Just common, ordinary antibiotics?
Well, the original one was penicillin. Cured it very quickly, within 10 days. I have to admit that it's not something I've kept up with, so whether penicillin is still as effective as it was, 40 or more, 50 years ago, I'm not sure.
And you don't hear much about syphilis anymore.
No. AIDS took over.
Mm-hmm.
It became the disease, the infectious sexual disease of all time so far.
Our son has finished the school year at the university, and he was interested in obtaining an internship with a large animal veterinarian. And so he started on Monday. And the reason I'm telling the class this is I think more young people should consider trying to do this. He is interning with no compensation whatsoever, and he's delighted to be able to do it. And on Monday, he was dressed for work, and he had a nice pair of blue jeans on and a nice long sleeve shirt. And he was ready. He had no idea what he was going to be doing because they were going to figure that out when he got there. So they said, well, we're a little short-handed today, and we're going to work some cows. And they have this device. It's called a squeeze chute. Now, when you want to check a cow, and they don't want to stand still. So typically, a cow might weigh 5 times more than a full-size man. And they're dangerous because the cows don't know what's going on. It's hard to explain to them. Just it's only take a minute. Just stand right there, and they start running around, and they're really dangerous when they're frightened. So they put them in this chute, and it's like they walk into this cage, and they're stopped in place, and then the sides of the chute are hydraulically operated. It's kind of like a straitjacket. The cow can't move. And so the bars of this chute press against the sides of the cows. It doesn't break their ribs or anything. It just keeps them from moving. Well, they had a hydraulic leak with the animal in there. This is a hydraulically operated device, and he was sprayed almost completely with hydraulic fluid. So day number 1, he's repairing this hydraulic leak. that's kind of neat. So there's a skill that he was able to employ as a farmer. He knew exactly what to do, how to have the hose made, custom hose made, hydraulic fittings, 3,000 pounds per square inch. So what I'm saying is, let's say it was a young person who didn't know how to do that. That person would learn during an internship. Then yesterday he came back and I said, "How's it going?" He said, "Well, you were short-handed." And so we did a C-section on a cow, and we delivered. And he was covered, with this amniotic fluid and cow poop, and so what he is seeing firsthand is emergency after emergency, and that's what life is really like. So as the rest of those in society who are watching television thinking everything's just running along just fine, it's not. It's not running along just fine. There are actually people who are doing things to save lives and to keep society going. So the long and short of what I'm trying to say is, if you have a child who is in college and can get an internship with something like this, it will be a learning experience that you cannot. A college can't teach you this much this quickly, and you have to pay for college. So all you have to do is volunteer and be dedicated, and I think you'll get a tremendous, tremendous value out of being an intern. What do you think about that, Dr. Shealy?
Oh, unequivocally. There's no way that you can get that kind of experience, easier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now he's shopping for cow poop colored clothing. So it won't quite show so much. Let's see. I was talking with Judy Dollarheight at the meetup on Monday. Oh, by the way, there's no meetup on Monday because of the Memorial Day celebration, and it used to be called Decoration Day. So we at usaprepares.com would like our families and our friends to spend time together and think about what happened during the wars, those who have died, those who have given all or part, and those who are forever changed by the insanity of war. Of course, we recommend that if you have children, that you do not encourage them to enlist in as one who will become a target, one who will become injected and detected and beaten through boot camp. We suggest that you try to talk your children out of joining the military, because we're fighting wars for other people. It's not like we have been attacked and we're rallying to the defense of our country. It's not like that. We're beating up little countries all over the world. So we here at USA Prepares are recommending that you talk seriously about with your children about the military and the risks and hazards. But at the same time, we want to honor those who have been wounded, who did not understand why they were going to fight in wars. And I can tell you for certain, my father and his brothers who enlisted in World War II as a response to the attack, the unprovoked attack, at least that's what they say, the unprovoked attack by the Japanese on the United States. My father and his brothers rallied to the defense of the United States and were absolutely, positively forever changed. The nightmares, the blood-curdling screams at night that I would hear as a child, and I heard all the way through the last days of my father's life. So from the 1940s, he had these nightmares all the way through 2011. So I suggest that you prevent the trauma that can happen to your children should they enlist. But we will not be meeting on Monday at Jimmy's Egg, but we will be meeting the following Monday. And so Judy Dollarheight was telling me last Monday that she has been talking to people in the medical profession who, they're not doctors, but they meet patients. And let's for example purposes, say that a person is, one of her friends is a receptionist, let's say, or a nurse at a medical facility, a clinic, and someone will show up an hour late for an appointment, and they'll announce that they're there, and the person behind the desk will say, well, you missed your appointment. It was an hour ago. Oh, okay. Do you know what your appointment was for? No. Do you know who your doctor is? No. Do you know why you're here? No. And this, I'm told, is happening over and over many times a day. So we have people who are going to the doctors and they have no idea why. And that brings me to the question, forgetfulness. And that brings me to the question, why is this happening? And it seems to be people are more and more and more and more forgetful. And not only are they more forgetful, they're becoming more vegetative, and they have no zest for life. They've become vegetables. Dr. Shealy, is it fluoride?
Well, it's true. I mean, it's one of the escapes, if you will, when people have low self-esteem, depression, and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
They zombie out.
And it's very sad. And so then we hear the term useless eaters. So we have a bunch of people who are really not contributing to society. They don't know what's going on. If they don't know why they're at a clinic or a doctor's office, if they have no idea who their doctor is, how can they possibly make other decisions that involve their lives? How can they pay their bills? How can they live on their own? I mean, how can they remember to get their oil changed in their vehicle?
Well, they don't do a very good job of it.
Yeah. And how do we fix it, Dr. Shealy? I don't think there's a magic bullet. Do we just say, okay, the current 3 generations, well, we're going to have to write them off. So we're going to have to start over and throw out the educational system and start over? Is it that? Is it parenting? Is it the lack of?
I do believe that we have some tools that can help. And I'm impressed enough with what I call energy genesis, a chamber-like device where you can go in and enter the delta state of brain awareness.
When I come experience that, Dr. Shealy, at your clinic, is that something that we're going to video? Maybe I've got a little video camera. Is that something that we should do?
Well, we could, I suppose. Yeah.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
You've heard them on Alex Jones. You've seen them on Ancient Aliens. Now come see them live at Contact in the Desert 2015 in Joshua Tree this May. Experience 4 full days of science-centered lectures, workshops, intensives, and fieldwork on ancient astronauts, extraterrestrial intelligence, human origins, crop circles, contact experiences, UFO sightings, and more. Meet Chariots of the Gods author Eric von Daniken, Ancient Aliens host Giorgio A. Tsoukalos, New York Times bestselling author David Wilcock, Dead Doctors Don't Lie author Dr. Joel Wallach, astronauts Edgar Mitchell and Story Musgrave, Earth Files publisher Linda Moulton Howe, author Jim Mars, and many of the world's most respected researchers and scientists exploring answers to one of the greatest questions of all time. More speakers, more panels, more things to do. Join us at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center, which has a long history of sightings and contact experiences. For advance tickets and conference schedule, go to contactinthedesert.com. That is contactinthedesert.com.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
Dr. Shealy is with us, and if you'd like to get a free copy of his newsletter, normshealy.com, N-O-R-M, as in Norman, Shealy, S-H-E-A-L-Y.com, normshealy.com, and you can sign up for his free newsletter, the very same one that I get multiple times per week, the very same one that we talk about right here on usaprepares.com. And your email address will not be sold nor given away. It's just for Dr. Shealy's use, and making sure that you get a prompt copy of the newsletter. And Dr. Shealy, Energy Genesis, you're really excited about that. Can you share with us what that's about? And then can we also address the DE protocol that so many of our students at the meetup are on? So Energy Genesis.
Energy Genesis is essentially a sound light chamber. It looks, when you walk in and it's closed, it just looks like a great big semi-round box. It fills the room. But it opens up, the top opens up, and you walk in and lie down on a bed that has beautiful, wonderful speakers in it, and it's a bright light over your head, and in the center of that bright, clear light are 5 colored lights from red through blue. And then you close this, and you turn on the music, and the music is remarkably relaxing. For someone who has practiced deep relaxation for 40-plus years, I could say it puts me deeper than I can put myself. And there's evidence that actually puts you into delta, which is the lowest known frequency of the brain, 1 to 3 cycles per second. And it appears that being in delta allows the brain essentially to repair itself from unhealthy connections. Now, I don't know how far we can go with it. All I know is that the most striking case I've seen was a 5-year-old severe cerebral palsy child who had no teeth and was in a very contorted body position. Within a year, he had a full set of teeth and was standing and eventually began walking. And I have now begun to see that with a few treatments, it can begin to reverse Parkinsonism, etc. So I think it really is the best key we have now to allowing the brain to go into pure repair mode.
You know, when I was younger, I used to listen to talk radio at night. My dad said, well, just turn this on and leave it softly and you can... And I guess he thought that maybe I would learn things, while I was asleep. And so this talk radio was on. And then as I got older, I was wondering, did I ever give my body a chance to rest because, there was constant, chatter, noise, talk going on in the background. I'm talking about during the 60s. And so this makes a lot of sense to me. I really believe that. I can't prove it. I'm not medically trained, but it seems to me that your body does need to slow down for repairs. And it can't. How is it possible that a brain could run at wide open throttle all the time?
Well, it's not. I mean, it takes its toll on the body and the mind. And, let's face it, all stress is additive. And ultimately, it wears out the body and mind.
So when we go to repair, this diatomaceous earth study that we're doing, I think there are about just under 15 people who are involved in this right now. Of course, I'm one. And the protocol that you have developed, would you like to share? Can we share that on the air for those who may want to try food grade only diatomaceous earth? And we get ours from earthworkshealth.com. Could you share that very quickly?
It's very simple. You start with a half teaspoon of diatomaceous earth, food grade. Gradually, you go to 1/2 teaspoon twice a day. And if your intestines remain good, and it actually improves the whole function of the intestines, eventually you go to as many as 1 level teaspoon 3 times a day.
Okay. There you have it, Dr. Shealy's protocol, and we're going to be reporting back on this in just a little under 2 months. Dr. Shealy, hey, thanks so much for being with us. And you can listen to Dr. Shealy on hayhouseradio.com, hayhouseradio.com, in 1 hour and 3 minutes from now, right on the internet. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. Thanks so much, Dr. Shealy.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
Today.